Hi guys, and welcome back. For those of you who are new here, I'm Hannah, and welcome to our humble homestead fixer-upper. Lately on this channel, we have been discussing how to have healthy habits and routines and mindsets as homemakers and mothers. And we're going to continue on with this trend in this video. I recently made all of these videos into a playlist, and this video will be added onto that playlist as well. I've said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. I cannot stress enough to you the importance of a healthy morning routine. Having a productive morning is one of the best ways to set yourself up for success. Especially as a mom, the last thing you want to do is wake up and feel like you're reactive instead of proactive to all the things that are being demanded of you right away. No one likes to feel super chaotic with getting breakfast ready and getting people ready for the day as well as yourself. It's not a good feeling. One of the best ways you can set yourself up for a healthy and happy morning is to have an evening routine, but I feel like that's another video that we will come back to. I feel that in order to be the mom we want to be, we first have to envision what that mom is like. You have to envision that version of yourself. If you showed up tomorrow exactly the woman, the mother you want to be, what would she be like? What would her morning look like? How would she dress? How would she behave? How would she handle stress? We can take these thoughts and see them as goals, and we can be proactive to write down action steps of how we can become that version of ourselves that we so badly want others to see, and what we want to be for ourselves. We want to excel. We are homemakers, right? But everything we do, we want it to glorify our Heavenly Father. We want it to bring honor to His name. We want to also show joy and a reflection of our lifestyle. We want our children, our husbands, our loved ones, our friends to see that we enjoy this role, that we have fully embraced it, and we don't want to just survive. We want to thrive. We want to do not just mediocre work, but killer work. We want to do an amazing job at this. We want the younger ladies to look at us and say, I want to learn from her how to be a good manager of my home and my family. So that's what we're going to be focusing on in today's video, is how can we achieve that higher version of ourselves that we aspire to be? How do we start actually waking up as that version of ourselves? I've said this before and I'll say it again. Our thoughts are so important. Our thoughts control the environment that our mind lives in. So one of the very first things I want you to do is wake up listing things you are grateful for. Especially if you're not someone who naturally wakes up with a very chipper mindset, it is such a good habit to, even before your feet hit the ground, even before you throw the covers off, to start thinking of things you're grateful for. It could be the air in your lungs. It could be the blanket that you slept with. It could be your soft pillow. It can be the fact that you have coffee that you can brew this morning. Whatever it is, just start listing things you're grateful for. And before long, you'll just be walking around with a smile on your face. It really does help change the mental environment you wake up in. Part of the importance of a morning routine is that you need something you look forward to, something that's going to make you excited to wake up early in the morning. For me, I'm naturally very excited to wake up before my family because that's time I get to myself. And with a large family, I have 6 children. Time to myself is very rare. So I actually really do love it. I hop out of bed, I am ready for it. I love to smell my coffee brewing. I will normally put on my makeup as my coffee is brewing, and then I come back to my room where I have my sleeping baby in my bed. I can keep my eye on him, and I will read something inspirational that helps put my mind in the right mindset for the day. And something else that I think is a really wonderful routine in the morning is to write down your top 4 life goals. Experts kind of differ on how many life goals they think someone should have at a time, because if we have too many on our plate at once, we can be a little too scatterbrained and not do any of them well enough. So they usually say about 4 to 6. For me, 4 is plenty if I'm really gonna go at it with all that I have. If you're a believer, I'm sure your relationship with the Creator is up there. If you're a wife and a mother, I'm sure how you take care of your family is also up there. But it still leaves you some extra things that you can give yourself full permission to really work on and give your all to. And this is a very healthy way to be like, okay, this is important to me. I'm going to give it Herculean, Olympian effort. I'm going to give it all I have. And it helps so much to wake up in the morning, write down those goals again, and write down an action step for the day. At least one or two action steps of how you are going to work towards that goal. Because the natural mind will forget. The natural mind can get discouraged. The natural mind can get lax and think, maybe I don't care as much as I thought I did. But if it really is that important to you, then you need to look over it every single morning and give yourself full permission to go for it as much as you need to make it happen. And the great thing about the morning time is that it's when you're naturally your highest sane self. Like when I wake up in the morning, I am freshly motivated. I am freshly inspired. I know exactly what I want to do for the day. I've got my mind in the right place. I'm not already bogged down. It's like Anne of Green Gables said, isn't it nice knowing that tomorrow doesn't have any mistakes in it yet? Like I wake up in the morning and I haven't made any mistakes yet. It's a fresh day. Joy has come in the morning and I am ready to just take on the day, especially when I have freshly renewed my top goals in my mind and I'm ready to go at it with my whole heart and my soul. So one way that I've really jazzed up the mornings for myself is I work hard to romanticize it. I do. I've got my yummy creamy coffee. I have candle lights going on in my room. I have string lights by my window, and it's honestly still not enough to actually be able to read by. I actually use the flashlight on my phone to read, but I still have the ambiance going. It smells wonderful in here, and that is enough to just really enjoy the romance and the coziness of the morning. So journeying back to your top 4 life goals, I love this approach so much because it allows you the freedom to really go at what is most weighing on you, what is most important for you. And when you tackle those life goals, you then are free to cycle through and add new ones. And then it creates this snowball effect. And in 6 months to a year, you can be a completely unrecognizable version of yourself. You can be an entirely different person and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe that used to be the old me. And this is the new me. And this can be in all kinds of areas with our lives. It can be in a career, it could be with weight loss, or just moving your body more, being a happier person. It could be having better relationships, being a more intentional mother. There's just so many things that we could do and put active, focused attention into and watch ourselves slowly evolve into more mature adults, the higher version of ourselves that we want to be. Because right now, we all as humans, we have 2 warring sides in our brain. We all have that lower nature, that lower nature that wants to live in the flesh, that wants to be comfortable, that doesn't want to change, that doesn't want to be pruned, that wants things to stay easy and would probably rather just stay the same. And then we have our higher sane adult, that higher self, and that's the opposite of this inner demanding child, but this inner sane adult that has goals, that wants to be more spiritually mature, who wants to be a more involved and better parent, a loving and dedicated spouse, so on and so forth. And we have to actively choose every day. Do I want to give in to my demanding child, or am I going to take action steps to being the sane adult that I know I need to be for myself and for my family and for all my loved ones around me? It sounds so minuscule. I know it does. I know it sounds so very, very minuscule. So I want to share an anecdote with you that I'm hoping will inspire you. If you've followed me on Instagram for any time, I often recommend Julie Gordon's books, Wife School, Happy School, and Skinny School. I know some people get triggered by the title of Skinny School. I can't help that. It's what the book's called. I'm sorry. That's out of my hands. So I reread those books every single year because some of my top life goals or to be the best wife and mother I can be. I want to actively pour myself into my family, heart and soul, and give them the best version of myself. But the best version of myself is not easily come by. So I love reading Wife School every year to help me be the wife my husband needs. It reminds me of just how much men and women are different and how we need to communicate our feelings so much differently than what is natural to us. Every single time I reread Wife School, it's like I fall in love with my husband all over again, and we just go through this like honeymoon period, and it lasts and lasts until the next time I read it. But it, like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. I feel like every year my marriage is strengthened even more because I continue to read Wife School every single year. After that, I read Happy School, which is something I also need to continually bathe my mind in, because I used to struggle with postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety, and your mind is a battlefield. One of my top life goals is just to be a naturally happy person, and I have to train myself on how to do that. And it's becoming easier and easier every single year as I refresh my mind on how to be the person I want to be. And Skinny School, that's another one. It has helped me lose my pregnancy weight. Man, when did I discover that book? I think after my third child. So once again, it has been extremely helpful. I can't stress enough how much you want to be so intentional with what you consume, because that's going to make such a big impression on your thoughts. What you read, what you look at online, the videos you listen to, these things do so much for the chemistry in your brain, and they affect how you will filter life around you. So while these top goals might not seem like that, it might not seem like that big of a life hack, that's why I say you want to wake up every morning, write down the goals that are written on your heart that are just so very important to you, and write down action steps. It could be finding a book that's going to help you with that. It could be talking to a friend. It could be finding just the right YouTube channel that gives you all the advice or research that you need to make further steps. If it's to be healthier, to find the right exercise routine for you, whatever it is, you need to actively be working on the areas in your life that you want to grow in, and then actually do it. After you do all your research, after you bathe your mind in the right thoughts, you need to actually go for it. Do it and be consistent. Give yourself 3 months, 6 months, a year where you dedicate yourself to this goal, or until it is officially checked off in your mind and you feel that you can say, I did it, it's done, and you move on to the next goal. Cycle them through, keep them going, keep growing as a person. I promise you, it is so worth it. And whatever it may be, it's not insurmountable. Your goals probably need to be so big that they scare you a little bit. It's okay to have those. It's okay to think that they're impossible, because the reward when you actually do crush it is just even better. I forgot who said it, but someone once said, most goals start out as impossible, difficult, and done. Those are the 3 steps. You just dedicate really putting yourself into what is most important for you and go at it. I'm telling you, you can be the homemaker you want to be. You can be the mom you want to be. This is the key to reinventing yourself, is to come up with a plan and crush the plan. Do it every single day. Be consistent, because what you do every day ultimately shapes your life. How we spend our days is how we spend our life. And the things you do and how you think will shape the person you are. If you are exceptionally intentional about what you're consuming, what you're thinking, and what you are doing, you can become a completely different person, a much better version of yourself, the version of yourself that you pictured at the beginning of this video when I asked you if you woke up as the woman you dream of being. You can make steps towards being that person. And I would encourage you to be very, very prayerful about your goals. And when you feel like you're failing, I would encourage you to be very prayerful about that. Ask your Heavenly Father to show you, why some areas are a struggle for you, why He wants you to strive in certain areas, and ask Him to give you the strength. because you will need his strength to help you change. Ultimately, he is the one who can change hearts, and he is the one who helps carry us through. If these are anointed and appointed goals from him, he will see you through. I feel very confident about that. I'm also going to link a video I did about overcoming discouragement, because this is also a really key aspect, is that we need to be very careful about things we are not thinking, things we're not consuming, and things we're not band-aiding ourselves with. I also talk about ways to figure out what your goals are. Feel free to watch that video after this one. I want to thank you all so much for choosing to spend a part of your day with me. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you gleaned something from it. Please leave me a comment below on your thoughts. I would love to hear from you. And Father willing, I'll see you in the next video. Shalom.